Welcome to Business Communication and Presentation Skills. This is 15th video, and this is specially designed for Kadisabha Vishwavidyalaya, students of BSITR and LDRPITR. Since the topic is listening skills, everybody can learn from it. And all of us know that listening skill is one of the art that has been forgotten. So, because we are so busy, we make others to hear and we forget to listen. So let us, I think that is also one of the reason that this chapter is important. Why do we listen? I'm going little slow. We listen. I've just said because listening is a process and we need to understand the process. We listen to obtain information. Yes, we listen to obtain information. Maybe the teacher is teaching, the tutor is teaching, mother is teaching, and the children are getting the information. And we listen to understand. When somebody is giving an example, somebody is doing some experiment, we understand, we see it. So we listen to understand. If we don't listen, we do not understand. And we listen for enjoyment. Say for example, you are listening to the music, then you are listening for enjoyment. You are enjoying it. And we listen to learn and to educate others also. So why do we listen? To obtain information, to understand, to for enjoyment, and to educate. Now listening is the basic skill for what? For communication. When we were born, we listen first. We did not start speaking. We were listening. So that is the basic skill of communication. Listening is also an active process which makes sense. We understand. After we understand, we respond. That is also a process. Now this is one of the skill that you can learn. So it is not hard that you do not know listening, you are unable to listen. It is one of the skill that you can learn. Let's move on to the process of listening. It says that 5 basic stages of listening are there. The first one, hearing. First you hear. First you don't listen. First you hear. Okay, fine. Now I should listen. Then first you hear, and then you understand. After you understand, you remember. And after you remember, you evaluate. We are going in detail, a bit of detail about this process. And then last is responding. You hear, and then you understand, and you remember, and then you evaluate, and then you respond. So let us go to the first one, hearing. Say for example, I've given here an example of railway station, and you are standing there, a lot of announcement is going on, and in that announcement you are hearing noises, you are hearing a lot of chit chatting, but in the middle of that you are trying to hear the message for your particular train, right? So listening to the speaker's message. Who is the speaker here? The person who is announcing. So first you need to hear for starting the process of listening. So this is the first one, that is here. I'm going back. Second is understanding. Why I'm showing this screen back and forth? So that you remember that this is the process of listening. Second, understanding. Let's move on to understanding. Now, understand the meaning of the message. Yes, don't just understand what it is being said, you have to understand the meaning of what is being said. Yes, if not enunciated clearly, it is going to be difficult because many people enunciate in a different way. So it has to be enunciated clearly, otherwise, we will not be able to understand. Like say for example, the word agreement, my understanding of agreement. The word is agreement, and I'm saying that my understanding, for me, agreement means is equal to. Some people, the meaning of agreement can be accommodation or bargaining. So it understanding is important. Then, say for example, I tell the student, have an early start for your assignment. Some people will think, okay, I have to get up early in the morning and do the assignment. No, do the early, I mean, have the early start means before everybody gives, you start your assignment so that you finish these assignment quickly. You don't have to do any hurry burry in assignment. So that is early start. Okay. Again, going back to the third one is remembering. First was hearing, second was understanding, third is remembering. Yes, there are people who says, oh my God, I don't remember anything. So it begins with listening. If you listen, you remember. If you are not able to remember, that means you are not listening. Simple as that. So research also says that whatever, suppose out of 50%, you only remember 25%. That does not mean that you keep the research and then you move ahead. Improve your listening skills. Now, distract your attention and you miss it. Yes, when you are trying to remember, there are so many distractions that is happening and you miss it. You miss what the speaker is trying to say. That is what it means. If understanding is inaccurate, your recollection of the message will also be inaccurate. You will not be able to remember those things. So first one was hearing, second one was understanding, third one was remembering. Now we are going to evaluating. What is evaluating? Judging. Don't we judge everyone? For every situation, we have got some judgment. This is a rare photo, a cat and a dog. So they're talking. This makes sense to me. So there will be somebody who is watching and saying, "Ah, this cat is saying, oh no, I cannot understand a word," and this is saying it's making sense to me. So evaluating, everybody is evaluating at this. Everybody is evaluating why this is happening, why this is happening to me, why that person is behaving this way. So we are always evaluating. Now here is one cat teacher. He's saying your examination is online, so no cheating. So we have, this means we have already evaluated you people are going to cheat. But I trust you people that you're not going to do that. But this is just an example. So take it as an example only. Okay. So let's move on to the fifth one. The fifth one is responding. After you hear, then you understand, then you remember, you evaluate, and there is a response of whatever you heard. So let's move on to that. There can be positive response. This class is very good. So you are giving a positive response after class. Now, how does the speaker come to know that you are listening? When you ask question. So when you ask the question, the speaker knows, oh my God, great. My lessons have been understood by the student. So you ask question, that is called responding. Then after the class, there can be negative feedback also. You want to run away. So that is also a response. This, so we are going back to the process. So the process is first one hearing, understanding, remembering, evaluating, and last one is responding. Now, going to the next topic that we are going to cover in listening is types of listening feedback. Every time we give feedback, but specifically listening feedback. Like say, for example, what is happening here? If anybody wants to write it in the chat, you can write it, what is happening here. Otherwise, it is called note taking. In the class also, when a teacher is teaching, you go to the conference. When the speaker is speaking, you attend a workshop. The speaker is speaking, you make some notes. So that is a feedback that you are listening. And it is ongoing. For the first one is formative feedback, and it is ongoing. When the speaker is speaking, there is an ongoing message that is going on. and telling the speaker that you are listening. You're signaling, yes, you're signaling, you're signaling, yes, I got it. Your expression, facial expression, which we already covered in the previous chapter. So it shows that yes, you are listening. Next is, okay, fine. Some with your facial expression, it comes to know that the person is interested. The talk is interesting. Or you are nodding. Yes, you are understanding. As I said, there can be positive feedback and negative feedback for one. The negative feedback is you are not able to understand. So when you are not able to understand, your mind get tired, and then this is what happens. So the first one is formative feedback, which is continuous feedback. The second one is summative feedback. The word sum means it is the result, means towards the end. If you have a favorite singer and that favorite singer is singing and towards you are listening, and towards the end you may dance, the public may dance. There would be some who would be admiring towards the end, and suppose at the end somebody is asked, how was this, how was the program, and if you just say I loved your voice, that does not mean that you are listening to the song, you are in your own world, because what you remember is just the voice. You were not listening which were the songs that he sang or anything. Making donation. Now, if after a charitable trust has come and they are making a speech, and at the end, if if people are donating, that means the message has been conveyed and people have understood. So there are two types of listening feedback. The first one is formative. Formative is ongoing, and summative is at the end. So I hope you understood this. Let's move on to types of listening. In types of listening, we have covered evaluative listening, appreciative listening, active listening, and passive listening. So the first one, active listen. The first one, evaluative listening. Now, evaluative listening means it also can be critical listening. We think critically. So, like, say, for example, we make some judgment. So you saw something, and we make the judgment. Like, say, for example, I've taken a simple example here: a cat and monkey and a stray dog. They cannot be friends, but here it seems they are friend, and the baby monkey says, you seem good. So the stray dog is thinking that the monkey is persuading me, trying to say something. Does the baby monkey want some food? Critical thinking, evaluating. And there is a baby papa monkey or mother monkey. Oh, that's against our value. Critical thinking. They are trying to be friends, but the critical thinking of the other monkeys, no, 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 this is not, something is happening. So evaluative listening. So when somebody is forcing to change your behavior or belief, so that is evaluative listening. In the college, if somebody persuades you to go to the college, go to the canteen, and you don't want to go, you want to finish your assignment. So you think, why this person is forcing me to go to the canteen? Does that person does not have money to pay for the samosa? These kind of critical thinking, evaluative thinking. I hope you got the understanding of evaluative thinking. This is also called evaluative thinking. Evaluative listening is also called critical, as I said. It is also called judgmental or interpretive, because it goes hand in hand. Now, the next one is appreciative listening. The quality of appreciative listening depends upon three things. One is presentation, second is perception, and the third is previous experience. What does all these things mean? Say, for example, you are listening to somebody's music and you like the music. Why did you like the music? Because of the previous experience. Oh, because the voice is good, the composition is good, and presentation is also good. So Presentation, perception. You perceived that this person will always sing good. So you perceived it because of the presentation and previous experience. Appreciative listening. Now, if you are inspired with some great leader, you would like to get some quotes from the great leader. Whenever you have any presentation, you choose to get the quotes from that particular leader. So, in short, we use appreciative listening to listen to good music. If you are interested in poetry, then we listen to poetry. If you are trying to get some inspiring word, then we get the inspiring word. Television channel, radio, radio channels, and film. Maybe because you like their styles. So that is appreciative listening. At present, I appreciate everyone that you are paying attention to what I'm saying and you are listening and you're watching this video. So I'm appreciating you. Thank you very much. Active listening. Now, active listening, say for example, these are two words, tired and sleepy. If somebody says I'm tired or if somebody says I'm sleepy, you need to understand the situation. You need to understand how that person will be feeling. If somebody says I'm tired and you say, oh, let's go and play cricket, let's go and play volleyball. I mean, that's not what it is. That's not what active listening is. The person is saying I'm tired. The person is saying I'm sleepy. So you need to understand what the person is trying to say. Because of that, your understanding with that person will be good, and it creates mutual understanding, and there is going to be more interaction if you understand the person. These are just two examples. I'm not saying when you say that you are tired, you encourage the other person to speak, but it is understanding. Active listening has got more understanding. So there are four essential requirements for active listening. The intensity, how intense your understanding. Are you empathetic with the person? I'm not saying sympathetic. Are you empathetic? Which means when somebody says I am tired, you understand the tiredness, that empathy. I mean, you are together with that, you are sharing the same emotion with that person. Acceptance and willingness to take responsibility for completeness. Willingness, if I did not listen to you, if you remember, I had asked that which are the chapters you would like to do first. You people said fourth, then you said fifth, then you said sixth. If I did not listen to you, I would not have created this video for you, because it is in a sequence that you had asked for. So this is active. So I am having active listening, and I know my students also have, are very good active listeners. If you were not active listeners, this video would not have been there. The techniques of active listening. Asking question. How would the speaker come to know that the audience are listening? At present, if you are in Premiere, you can chat and ask a question if you want to ask. The question means that you are listening. Question does not mean to distract the speaker. Can you explain it with an example? Something like that. Then rephrasing or paraphrasing. Whatever the speaker said, you rephrase it or you paraphrase it for the speaker, that this is what I understood, as I understand it. Or you can say, correct. You say the entire phrase, what you want to ask, and then you say, correct me if I'm wrong. So if your understanding is not matching with the speaker's understanding, the speaker will say, this is how it is. So technique of active listening, you ask question, you paraphrase it, or you rephrase it. Passive listening. Does anybody need any training on passive listening? No, nobody needs this training because it does not need any effort. It is for with everyone, including me. Right? You are not listening. The person is trying to say something, and you are not, and the other two are not listening. Now, here you say that how this can be passive listening. You know that you're not supposed to throw the garbage. You know that you're not supposed to throw the banana peel after eating on the road, or it can cause accident. So this is passive listening and careless attitude too. The person is with the cycle. It's not active listening. The person is not focused on the cycle. He's listening to the podcast while cycling, listening to podcast while gymming. Your focus is not on listening, or you're not focusing on gymming. So passive listening, when you do two things at a time, that becomes usually passive listening. When you're watching cricket and your mom says something, you think, boys, you are having active listening. No, you are not. You might have said yes and you might have forgotten. Your dad says something when you're watching cricket, you might say yes, and when dad comes home, that thing is not done. So I'm sure your passive listening might have got some response or some feedback. Suggestion for improving active listening. There are some suggestions with which you can improve your active listening, because this is one skill that you can learn. Active listening is one skill that you can learn. Making an eye contact. Making an eye contact is so important. Even speaking skills, you have to make an eye contact. Exhibit affirmative nods with your facial expression, something like that. Yes, I understand. Avoid distracting action or gesture. If when you're speaking and somebody makes these kind of faces or these kind of gestures, you think you will be able to speak or you will be able to listen to what the speaker is saying? I guess no. Ask question and paraphrase, we already covered it. Avoid interrupting the speaker. Now, whenever I'm saying speaker, please do not imagine a speaker on the podium, speaker on the stage. It can be two people speaking. Anyone who is speaking is a speaker. So please do not interrupt the speaker. When you interrupt the speaker, where two people, when they are speaking, their conversation is broken. And do not talk too much. Some people have got the habit of talking, and it goes in a loop. And when it goes in a loop, your listener is bored, and there is no message that is being taken. So do not talk too much. Barriers of listening. Noise. Noise can be internal, noise can be external also. Physical noise, psychological noise. Say, for example, you are sitting to do your assignment, you are sitting to do your homework. At present, it is lockdown, so you are at home and mom is making something and you want to do your assignment, but you are not able to focus on your assignment because you get so nice smell. What is mom cooking? That is what is going on, rather than paying attention to what you are supposed to do. So that is psychological noise. The other one is physiological noise. If you have got migraine, if you have got a headache, do you think you will be able to pay attention to the speaker? No. Suppose the room is chilled and you are attending a workshop. You think you'll be able to pay attention, and you have just worn your normal clothes. Do you think you'll be able to pay attention to the speaker? No. So that is psychological noise. Semantic noise means there is one word is understood by different people in different meaning. Means one word has got different meaning and it is understood in different way by different people. Like say for example, in one of the chapter I said this, for us it is thumbs up, good job. But if a Japanese is sitting in the conference, that he would think, okay, number 5, right? So semantic noise. Then know it all barrier. Suppose you go to someone and you speak to the person, you explain to the person, and the person says, yes, I know. You say something else, yes, I know. Next day you go and say something, yes, I know. Do you think fourth day you will go to that person and inform something? No. Yes, I know it all barrier. There are people who want to know, who want to keep it as, yes, I know everything. So when that person knows everything, nobody will go and speak to that person. And that person is not ready to listen to the opposite person. That is what know it all barrier means. Means you know everything. Cultural barrier. India has got so many states. There is going to be cultural barrier. What is understood in Gujarat may not be understood in Tamil Nadu. What is understood, what it means in Punjab may not be the same for Uttar Pradesh or anything. So India has got a lot of culture, and cultural barrier in listening is going to happen. So these are some barriers to listening: noise, physical noise, psychological noise, physiological, semantic, know-it-all, and cultural barrier. Now, why I have given this here is because of lockdown. You people have said that you have not taken the book home. This is for them. Read it, understand it. This is for your understanding. If you don't have the book, here it is. Of course, notes are given in your shareable drive. Please open it and read it. Chapter wise, it is being given. So open it, read it. If you have not got that chance, then this is what it is. I've just put a difference between listening and hearing. I'm not going to read everything because, as I said, it is only for you. Here we are ending our chapter. If you have any question, you can ask WhatsApp, or you can email it to me, and I'll make sure that I respond within 24 hours. So thank you very much. Stay safe. And after staying safe, be at home, follow the guidelines, follow the rules of government, and use those precautions during the lockdown and after the lockdown, even if it is open. And don't forget to subscribe and like. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. Thank you very much.